James Weller, Boxing Source, here with another video. And this video here is to talk about the back and forth that has happened between Shakur Stevenson and Eddie Hearn in reference to a fight for the WBO and IBF featherweight championships. Seems like Shakur Stevenson and Eddie Hearn have been going at it on Twitter for the past few days. And it starts off with Shakur Stevenson saying on April 21st that, quote, "I can't get Warrington next. Eddie Hearn and Warrington decided that they'd rather fight an interim champion with 2 losses instead of unifying his belt with me. That interim champion with 2 losses is Kanzu, who is the WBA champion. That is below Leo Santa Cruz, who is the super champion, WBA super champion." And as a response, Eddie Hearn says, "You turned down what we and your promoter felt was a very solid offer." The promoter being Bobby Arum of Top Rank Boxing. Now, as a response, Andre Ward chimed in, as Andre Ward is the manager of Shakur Stevenson, and he says, "You know how the game goes, Eddie. Just because you believe an offer is quote-unquote very solid doesn't mean that the fighter or his management have to agree. We are not after solid. Shakur deserves better than solid if he is going to across any pond. Hope you and your family are well." And as a response to Andre Ward, Eddie Hearn says, "Understand you have to agree to it. I'm not calling you out for not accepting. I'm responding to a fighter who was calling Josh and I out, saying we didn't want to fight when we were the only ones making offers and ones that we and Shakur Stevenson's promoter felt were acceptable. Say well." Now, as a follow-up, Shakur Stevenson said, "You haven't made any offer to me or my team once again, and according to what you were saying, you have more money than Frank Warren, so this shouldn't be a problem if you guys really wanted the best available fight for Josh and a real unification fight. Just tell them the truth, Eddie." Frank Warren being the previous promoter for Josh Warrington before Warrington signed with Matchroom Boxing. So Eddie Hearn follows by saying, "Speak to your promoters. I don't make offers to you and your management. You've had offers from Josh Warrington's previous and current promoter, like I said, Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn. It's up to you what to accept, no problem, but don't say that Josh Warrington or us don't want it. If your team wanted it so bad, then why is it only our side making offers?" And then on top of that, he said that you guys didn't agree that the offer was solid, but you didn't get one, right? As a response to that and posting what Andre Ward said. So that's kind of, part of the back and forth between Shakur Stevenson and Eddie Hearn in reference to a fight that could be made between Shakur Stevenson and Josh Warrington. And it's just a fiery back and forth that hopefully that fight does come to fruition, as Josh Warrington is currently slated to fight Kanzu for the IBF and WBA featherweight championships. So this is going to, I guess, continue to go back and forth. I know that there may be more in reference to that little thread there, but we'll see what happens once boxing gets back into gear. If they continue to try to work on a fight so that they can unify the featherweight championships on that side, when there's something on the other side where not very many of those featherweight champions want to have a piece of a certain guy that holds another world title. So that's what I got in reference to this particular topic. You can catch the Boxing Source radio show Sundays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, or catch the podcast on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Anchor.fm, Spotify, whatever your favorite podcast app is. And you can subscribe to the Boxing Source here on YouTube. On that note, folks, I'm out. Peace.